Grey Brothers.
Oh, wait.
That's your girl right there. She got my name on her crop top. Hit it like you don't care. Hit it if you ain't scared. Hit Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of our videos. We're Green Girls here and we're working on different environmental projects every single week to try and reduce our emissions and help the environment.
And this week we're tackling veganism, vegetarianism, and pescatarianism. So even though there are ethical reasons, some people might become vegan or decide not to eat meat products, there are also environmental effects of eliminating meat, which is why this week we'll be tackling some of these, diets.
So scientists have actually found that the most sustainable dairy and meat products are actually less sustainable than the leading least sustainable cereal and agriculture products.
And this is because the production of livestock requires a lot of grains, and the production of which requires a lot of water, land, pesticides, fertilizer, and fuel. The fertilizer used in growing the food for these livestock generates copious amounts of nitrogen oxide, which is a very potent greenhouse gas. So this week I'll be tackling pescatarianism, which means that I cannot eat any red meats, which means like, or white meats, I guess. So I can't eat like chicken, beef, lamb, anything that you would normally consider meat, but I can eat animal products such as cheese and like milk, and I can eat like marine food like fish and shrimp and such as that.
Okay, so this week I'm tackling vegetarianism, and so I also cannot eat any meat at all. And unlike Wendy, I'm unable to eat seafood, but I'm also able to eat dairy products such as milk and cheese and etc. Hey guys, so this week I'm going to be tackling veganism, so that means I can't have any meats, but unlike these guys, I can't eat any animal products, so that eliminates all eggs and milk and anything that comes from an animal, and as well I'll be living a vegan lifestyle, so I won't be wearing any leathers or animal products.
The difference between our normal diet is that I am a full, I guess, omnivore. I eat meat, I eat vegetables usually. So then the difference will be that I'll be eliminating the meat part of my diet for the week.
And I'm very similar to Wendy. I am an omnivore as well. I eat a lot of meat. I like hot pot. And
Also like hot pot.
Yeah. So cutting it back, it would probably be difficult, but it's worth a shot. And usually I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat any meats besides fish. And so this week it'll be a change, eliminating milk and eggs, which I think will actually be really difficult, especially eliminating milk from my diet. But I'm super excited to give this a try. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. And yeah, see you guys on the other side. Cash Green Girls this week. Hope you enjoy.
Alright, hey guys, it's the morning of day 2. Recap for yesterday, in the morning I also ate this, and then lunch at the cafeteria I ate an egg sandwich that was like basically frozen, and at dinner I ate some clams, which were pretty good. And so far I think it's not going to be very hard because like there's so many seafood options, and also like beans, potatoes, corn, that kind of like high calorie like food that can fill me up without eating meat. So I think I'll be okay.
Hey guys, good morning. It's currently 7 a.m. I just woke up, getting ready for breakfast. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my experience yesterday. First day, I ate absolutely no meat at all for breakfast. I'll show you, I took a picture. I just had milk, a slice of bread, and I added an egg for protein, and that wasn't too hard to handle because that's usually what I eat. I usually don't eat any meat in the morning, so that didn't change anything. For lunch, however, I ended up eating 3 plums. because I had 3 plums and some broccoli, leftover broccoli, because I came home and ate after school, so that's what I had. And then for dinner, I also took some videos. My mom prepared 3 different dishes, one of which included meat, so I basically had to avert from that, and I only ate green vegetables and tofu and scallions. So that's basically what I had for dinner.
Hey guys, what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was packing your lunches for school as a vegan. So that's something that I have to do when I get downstairs. But one thing that a lot of people are worried about when they're vegan is getting enough protein into their diet. And a tip I wanted to give you guys that I've been kind of using this week is getting lentils and beans into your diet, which are 1, really good sources of protein, and 2, as well, also very cheap options. So they're a good replacement for meat, and I'll definitely be using those.
So we're gonna go check out the cafeteria, see if there's any like vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian options for us, and we're gonna be reviewing how accessible it is in school to have a restricted diet. See you. Okay guys, so we're at the cafeteria right now, and as like a vegan this week, it's actually very inaccessible to be vegan in this school because every single one of the specials has either meat, milk, or eggs in it, and actually all of them have meat, so it's just like a complete no to that. The specials today are like chicken carbonara, there's like a meat chili, and it's just like not accessible for me to eat here, and so it really proves to us that in school the support and the demographics for being vegan just really aren't there.
Not only is it difficult to eat as a vegan in this cafeteria, it is also pretty difficult for a pescatarian, as there's only a few food options such as a tuna sandwich, an egg sandwich, and the sweets like the brownies, muffins and stuff like that, but that's not a healthy food option for me. So it's pretty difficult to eat pescatarian and healthily at the same time in this cafeteria, and when they run out of pescatarian food, I'm left with no options.
Okay, so there are not a lot of vegetarian options here in the cafeteria. The only things I can really eat is probably like the yogurt parfait and a lot of the desserts they have, and that is pretty much it. A lot of the other things have meat, and yeah.
And so Maggie, what's your like accessibility rating out of 10, 10 being that like you can find options and 1 being like no options?
Probably be like a 2.
Like a 2, like I'm at a 1 right now, like I'm pretty upset. I'm feeling like the cafeteria is not supporting the environment and it's really hurting my soul.
And it's hurting my biomark.
Hey Burnett, reporting to you live from the cafeteria. We're going to be interviewing this fine lady right here, Allison Marsh, who is a pescatarian. So Allison, how often would you say you eat at the school cafeteria?
I would say maybe once a month.
Once a month. And do you think that your dietary restrictions impact how much you eat at the cafeteria?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things that have chicken, especially I noticed that. A lot of beef bowls. You know, sometimes I really just want a rice bowl, but it has meat in it. And often there's not a fish option, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and so like how does this make you feel as a pescatarian? Do you feel welcomed in the school cafeteria?
I don't really feel welcome.
That's too bad. Do we see the problem? Reporting to you live from the Burnett cafeteria with a friendly vegetarian, Sophia Anderson, and we're going to be asking her a couple questions about accessibility in this school today. So Sophia, can you answer how many times have you eaten at the cafeteria in your high school experience?
I've never eaten like food from the cafeteria. I've only had cookies since grade 8, and I'm in grade 11.
And so, since you're vegetarian, do you think this has impacted the amount you eat at the cafeteria?
Yeah, there's nothing I can ever eat here.
And so, Burnett, does that show you that we have a problem?
Everybody, so it's Friday night, and I have completed a full week of being vegetarian. And I wanted to let everyone know on how that was. So I don't know about Maya and Wendy, but for me personally, I actually found it really difficult. I think it's because, you know, I've been accustomed to eating the same types of food every single day growing up, and a lot of that included meat products, so having to completely kind of cut those off was actually really hard. It was a lot harder than like walking to school, for example. And so yeah, I think that, you know, obviously eating at home and trying to cut back meat products was, you know, it was hard, but it was also, you know, I had a lot of support from my parents, and we grocery shopped just to accustom to my needs. So that was like, it made it better. Whereas at school, it was kind of a lot harder, as you'll see in a segment we'll probably do separately. But you know, cafeteria food is definitely not the most, you know, vegetarian friendly food, and that I actually struggled a lot with. So I had to bring my own food and snacks to school more often, and I couldn't buy anything from the caf this entire week.
So I'm currently in Victoria, and we are trying out different restaurants and just different places to eat and trying to see what like the accessibility is for being vegan. So we actually just went to McDonald's, which was an interesting experience because like a lot of the times McDonald's is viewed as like a very meat-oriented place, in which it is, but I was still able to get fries and a smoothie that didn't have any milk in it, so I really appreciate that. And for the most part, it wasn't a horrible experience, especially for fast food, so I found that that was pretty accessible. And I'll tell you guys about a little bit later about other restaurants that we go to, but by the way, this is Megan. And yeah, so talk to you guys later.
Hey guys, so it's the end of the week and I want to summarize my experience this week. So I found that it was very easy to eat pescatarian at home, especially since the variety of foods available is pretty broad. And you know, like I could eat seafood, vegetables, mushrooms and stuff like that. But it was very hard to find food that was pescatarian at school because the school cafeteria doesn't offer a lot of variety. But if you eat out a lot, like at restaurants, I found that it was completely fine to order food that doesn't contain meat, and a lot of restaurants especially has pescatarian, vegetarian, and vegan options. So I think that it's maybe not practical to never eat meat, especially if you're in a situation where the only food available is or has meat in it. But it's completely possible to cut down the amount of meat we eat, and I think in the future I'll eat more seafood and like vegetables, since it's also good for my health to eat more vegetables. So I think that's pretty good to help the environment while eating more healthy.